All right, well, the plot has certainly thickened when it comes to Twitter. Elon Musk says his planned $44 billion purchase of the social media company is temporarily on hold, pending details on spam and fake accounts on the social media platform.
For more on the implications of this, we're joined live this hour by BNN Bloomberg's Kamutha Ramanathan. Thanks so much for making time, Kamutha.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's start off with just explaining to people why those spam accounts are such a big problem for Elon Musk.
So this is a man who has, of course, said that he endorses freedom of expression, freedom of speech. One of his biggest criticisms of Twitter as a social media platform is that they stifle all of that. And these bots basically will limit or manipulate what you see on your Twitter account. It also will manipulate how many followers you have, depending on how it's being used. So for a man who is very much a champion of expression, freedom of expression, this is a real issue.
But Kamutha, what could the strategy possibly be here? Because, you know, it's something we know Elon Musk is a pretty frequent user of Twitter. He's aware of Twitter and the platform and the bot and sort of fake, people situation here. So is this just him maybe looking for a way to sort of weasel out of this? Because he hasn't filed the concern privately. And it would, I know this sounds silly to say, only cost him $1 billion to break the deal.
Exactly. I mean, in his world, that sort of a number is sort of makes sense, right? When you're looking at deals, you're dealing with a billionaire who has assets well over that, north of $1 billion. So what matters here really for analysts and sort of shareholders as well is that he hasn't filed formally, as you said. So this could be a way for him to wiggle his way out of doing the deal over the long term. Business is, of course, an ever-moving beast, right? We know that perhaps the share price and the valuation he now is realizing was way too high. I mean, we were talking for, a very significant number that he was willing to pay. He also was not only leveraging his own personal wealth, he also brought in a team of venture capitalists, different investors from around the world who wanted to get in. So all of that means that amassing a lot of money on the side of a business that perhaps is not as valuable as he may have initially thought is giving him some sort of a trepidation. That might be why we're seeing all of this happen. But because of the Twitter bot scenario overall, I think it's kind of interesting because the University of Maryland study actually took a look at the Twitter bots, and they said that Tesla shares have actually benefited from these Twitter bots when the stock wasn't doing well, and those bots have actually stepped in and helped sort of like and tweet and endorse a lot of what they've been saying to boost up share prices. So, we've seen this manipulation happen in the marketplace before.
Yeah, you mentioned Tesla. What about Twitter shares? What do they look like today?
So this is really why there were a series of tweets from Elon this morning. First, he had the musing about how he was going to temporarily hold off on the deal moving forward. That led to Twitter shares sinking in the pre-market. So then he reacted to that because, of course, that's not good for Twitter shares overall. What he did was he came back to qualify and basically say he was committed to the deal. But in the world of Elon, we know that there's always sort of an ebb and flow to the conversation. We don't know if he's being funny. We don't know if he really means what he's saying. He hasn't formally filed anything. But what we do know is that he has brought a lot of analysts concerned about whether this deal will move forward. And on the back of all of that, Tesla, of course, his main baby right now, we've seen shares sort of soar on the news that he may be backing out of this deal because he will then be able to focus his attention on his main bread and butter. So again, lots of moving pieces here. We're just going to have to wait and see what comes out of all of this.
Yeah, so much to watch. It's so intriguing indeed. All right, Kamutha Ramanathan from BNN Bloomberg. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Appreciate the analysis here.
Thank you.